beautiful day today. Sunshine throughout. Low humidity. Really a splendid September day. The afternoon temperature about 80 degrees. Great weather for the primary election. Tonight, clear and cool, though. 60 in Midtown.
It's begun to sound like some sort of a cliche. But really, September 11th started out like every other day.
Well, currently winds out of the northwest 6 miles per hour. Relative humidity 70%. 66 in Newark, 64 degrees in Bridgeport, 67 in Midtown, and heading for 80.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Don't throw the fat away.
The day guys were just coming in. I was off that day. 13 guys from my firehouse were on.
What happened?
Around 8:30.
Ladder.
I believe the run came in.
Get the run for the gas leak, or an odor of gas in the street, actually, I think it was.
Just lisping on in church, odor of gas. And we responded. Arrived in minutes.
You know, I don't think anything of it. Just you get on the rig, you go, you say, all right, it's an odor of gas.
Jules was riding with the battalion chief, Joseph Pfeiffer, videotaping.
It's just another call. I'm riding with the battalion chief.
It was basically camera practice. See, Jules had only been shooting for a few weeks. Before that, Gideon was the main cameraman.
Every time the battalion goes, I go. You know, it just needs to practice, so I shoot. No, I don't stop.
Check the area with meters, and it was kind of routine and pretty simple.
It was 8:46 in the morning.
And then we heard a plane come over, and in Manhattan, you don't hear planes too often, especially loud ones.
Right then and there, I knew that this was going to be the worst day of my life as a firefighter.
Immediately, I knew this was an accident.
What am I doing on this? Go to the trade center.
We knew, this was going to be something unusual, something tough, but it would be something we could handle or at least deal with.
Oh my God! That looks like a direct attack.
Chief Pfeiffer made the first official report.
Battalion went to Manhattan. We have a number of floors on fire. It looked like the plane was aiming towards the building. Transmit a third alarm. We'll have the staging area at Vesey and West Street.
It was probably a 2-minute ride, but it seemed like it was forever because there was a lot of things going through your head. Felt sorry for the people. The people inside the building.
What was going to happen, nobody had any idea. We've never experienced something like this before.
Everyone was passing, just looking up. It's like the world just stopped.
We are just currently getting a look at the World Trade Center. We have something that has happened here, flame and an awful lot of smoke from one of the towers. Whatever has occurred has just occurred within minutes, and we are trying to determine exactly what
Where you are? You want me right in here? No, go right front.
As we swung around in front of World Trade, my mind tells me, wow, this is bad. What do we do? What do we do for this?
We parked right under the awning of One World Trade Center. Chief Pfeiffer puts his gear on, and I remember asking him, Chief, can I come in with you? I want to come in with you. And he says, yep.
Yeah, you stay with me.
Come in with me, never leave my side.
Who got the chair?
I go in, and I hear screams, and right to my right, there was 2 people on fire, burning. I just didn't want to film that. It was like no one would see this.
Pfeiffer was the first chief into the building. Right away, a guy from the Port Authority told him the damage was somewhere above the 78th floor. But all you had to do was look around. It was obvious. Something had happened right there in the lobby.
You just saw that all the windows were blown out.
The lobby looked like the plane hit the lobby.
Later, they'd figure out that flaming jet fuel had shot straight down the elevator shaft.
All of this damage was done already. People was all over the place. So you knew it was going to be worse when we got upstairs.
Flames are shooting out. Smoke is pouring out.
I want you to get an engine and team up, get an offside line, off the 7. Okay, I want you to hook up really high in the 70. What's wrong? 78.
My main concern was we had 20 floors of people above. And we had to figure out a way to get them out. As it turned out, we had no usable elevators.
With the elevators out, there was only one way to get up there. Walk.
Companies come in. You see them with a concerned look on their face. And they're sent up.
A firefighter in full gear, carrying 60-something pounds of hose and equipment. Takes about a minute to climb one flight of stairs. These guys were looking at 80 stories just to get there. Then they'd start working.
I felt the mood that we were going to put the fire out. Everyone seemed to be confident. I know I was. You basically looked at it and said, okay, we got 10, 20 stories of fire. We'll deal with it. We'll get up there. We'll get to it.
There are fire crews just screaming into this area from every conceivable direction.
By this time, some of the top chiefs in the department had joined Chief Pfeiffer, running the command post, sending guys upstairs.
Every time I looked around, it was new faces. Some that I recognized. I had seen Chief Pronti, great guy, white hair, mustache, the perfect grandfather that you'd like to have. Remember seeing Lieutenant Fody, who was working with 9 engines. Said hello and then started going up.
Another of the men who went up was Lieutenant Kevin Pfeiffer. He was in charge of Engine 33, and he was the chief's brother.
I just remember we both looked at each other, said a few words, but it was more the look with a real concern that this was going to be something tough.
It's going to be a tough job. It's going to be a long job. They'll put it out. That's what they do.
The last time Jules had seen his brother was an hour ago, at the firehouse. As far as Jules knew, Gideon had followed Tony, the probie, into the tower.
When we had left for the odor of gas in the street, for me it was in the engine. And then when we arrived to the trade center, he went up immediately with the guys. So for me, my brother is going up the stairs.
It turns out, Gideon was with Tony.
Engine 7, ladder 1. This is firefighter Benetata.
But Tony was still at the firehouse.
Yeah. No, I was off duty.
And now he'd been ordered to stay there.
Everybody's been recalled. All available units must come back to the firehouse.
While Tony tried to keep up with the phones,
This is firefighter Benetata.
Gideon took his camera and started walking down towards the Trade Center. He was sure his brother was inside, and he wanted to get to him.
I remember slowly walking down to the World Trade Center. What really sticks in my mind is passing by people and filming them and filming their astonishment. And the eyes saying, this is not happening. I remember tilting camera back and forth between the people and the towers in front of me.
Center have been hit by aircraft. Both are in flames, both suffered explosions.
There is black smoke coming from both of the towers. It's a horrific scene here. There's debris flying through the air over the East River here into Brooklyn. What appears to be...
Mayday. There were two planes. I saw the second one hit. It hit the other tower.
All we knew was that a second plane hit, and we had a lot of people trapped.
Stay together. Stay together. You know what's going on. We're good after walking. There's no way to go. Second plane is missed. All right.
Now the chiefs would have to set up a whole other operation over in Tower 2.
When the second plane hit, that's when we could see fear.
Both of them are on fire.
You could see it in everybody's eyes.
Tell your co-workers to
There were people from all over the world in these streets. Different colors, different languages. On those few blocks between the firehouse and the World Trade Center, the entire world was there.
Two aircraft. The first one on one World Trade Center. The second one just happened.
And they were all looking at the same thing and talking about the same thing and reacting the same way.
You saw a plane go in? A plane went straight into the building, right there into the plane. Yeah? Another one. Yeah. That was a direct hit. Huge one. There were two planes? Yeah. One of these buildings. Yeah, that's the last one. We are full in the whole... What are those people going to do? On the second one? All the elevators are blocked out. Yeah. So the staircases must still be... Right?
The stairs were crowded. People were coming down burnt.
Upstairs in Tower 1, the guys from my firehouse were now 10 floors up and climbing.
If we did talk, it was to the people coming down, trying to comfort them, tell them it's all right, get out, stay calm.
I wound up finding a woman in the C staircase. Her arms were all burned.
she was just sitting there basically in shock. So I picked her up under her arms and I put her in with a group of guys, and I asked a group of guys to, take it down.
I spoke with one person. I think the highest floor that I had heard was about a survivor from the 80th floor coming down. So we know that was intact.
We knew it was going to be a long haul getting up there, and you had to try to conserve as much energy as possible, if that was even possible.
I'm hot. I could feel the blood in my neck pumping. I could feel my whole heart, my whole system is really working. I knew we had to get up to help people. We had to get up there. I knew we'd get there, but it was just going to take a while.
You're talking about thousands of casualties and thousands of potential casualties.
They was pretty much saying, God bless you, can't believe y'all going up and we're coming down. People, they pretty much said, why are y'all going up there? Get out.
Their concern was to get everybody out. That was the key. As much people out as possible.
Most of the people in Tower 1 came out on the mezzanine above the lobby. Then they'd get out through another building.
All right, I want to use the lobby of 7 as a triage.
The chief didn't want anyone going through the lobby doors. First, it was because debris was falling outside. Then, it was people falling.
You don't see it, but you know where it is. And you know that every time you hear that crashing sound, it's a life which is extinguished. It's not something you could get used to. And the sound was so loud.
I just remember looking up, thinking, how bad is it up there that the better option is to jump?
Like something out of the Tower Inferno, like a movie.
Wings News Time, 9:12, a major disaster in New York City this morning.
Breaking news now on 1010 Wins.
Well, we now have some insight as to what's going on the air here.
The FBI is now investigating reports of a plane hijacking before these crashes we're telling you about at the World Trade Center towers this morning.
Rescue crews are making their way to the scene, and all of it unfolding in one of the busiest places in the world, in downtown Manhattan. Again, both towers hit by aircraft.
Again, 2 planes involved in 2 crashes into either tower of the World Trade Center at about 10 to 9 and 5 after 9 this morning.
Pieces of the building and the plane actually landed blocks away. Gideon was walking with his camera when he found a chunk of the plane engine that had crashed completely through Tower 2.
Don't be kicking stuff. Don't get it as evidence. No, you don't kick it. All right, you get out of the area. Just go. This is evidence. You're kicking stuff. What's the matter with you?
That was as close as Gideon would get to the Trade Center, without a firefighter anyway.
So I decided that the smartest thing to do was to slowly walk back to the firehouse and find a way to go to Jules.
We're just getting word now. One of the 2 planes was hijacked after takeoff from Boston. This is
2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
We now have reports of a fire at the Pentagon. A fire at the Pentagon being reported this morning.
I was just saying that officials are calling this an act of terrorism. They're saying that's clearly what it is, clearly not an accident.
Arriving back at the firehouse, and Tony is still alone, and he has no clue of what to do.
The plume of smoke is enormous.
Pentagon's on fucking fire? War. This is war.
And just by listening to him, freaking out and swearing and behaving like I've never seen him behaving, Tony was expressing what we all felt. At that point, I saw the fireman in him taking over.
I can't believe the fucking Pentagon. Somebody had balls.
I mean, a few times he was just pulling his gear and about to rush to the door, realizing that he was the only one in charge of this empty firehouse, and going back to the house watch and looking again at those pictures on TV and just to make sure that it was real.
We have these two enormous explosions at the World Trade Center.
Tony just wanted to go there.
In the lobby, the chiefs were trying to run the largest rescue operation any of them had ever seen, with next to no information coming in from outside.
You got a phone that's working?
I think the entire world knew more than we did. Everybody had seen the attack. Everybody had seen the tower burning.
New York, un avion s'est encastré dans une des deux.
Had seen the Pentagon. For us, we didn't have a clue of what was going on outside our lobby.